some perinasal vessels, and you can see we're using this device, the Varilites, at 280 joules per centimeter squared with a 700 micron spot. Let's just go with a single spot here. Will laser on, please? Laser on, okay. Okay, now, are you seeing this well, David?
Yes, we see the aiming beam very well.
Let me do
Okay, let's just pulse one of those areas again. Now, can you see that's disappeared? Let's just treat a number of these. This is 940 that we're using. And this is particular, there we are, it's a nice uptake. And you see that vessel is, you see there, that's gone completely. And we're using what we call like a spot welding device. You don't have to trace the entire vessel. What we're going to do is pulse one area, and then go up about a millimeter or two and pulse another, and so forth. You do not have to treat the entire vessel. Once you've sealed this on, it is sealed. Again, with the 1064, which I think is a great wavelength, is also a very dangerous wavelength. And if you use it, you will get problems. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's got spot welding again. I don't know if you can see it on the big screen there. Can you see that, David?
Yeah, we see those little gaps.
Yeah, let's do that entire vessel. Okay. Let's just go back and treat some more of that as we go along. But I just wanted to show that you do get a very nice response with 940. It's particularly with the larger vessels. You know, the smaller vessels, you have to use higher fluence. Oddly enough, the larger vessels, you use a low fluence because you get better uptake. You had a point, David?
Yeah, talk to us about the strengths of this this wavelength as compared to 532 and 1064.
Well, first of all, it's actually, even though 532 is better absorbed by oxyhemoglobin, actually this has much greater depth. And what happens is that not only can you get to the depth of the vessel, this should be a good shot here. I bet these are going to respond nicely. Oh, yes, very nice. Iridex just sold 3 lasers. Very nice. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It's better than sex. This is very good. No, that's very nice. Look at that.
Chris?
Life doesn't get better. No one's out there listening
Everybody's up now to challenge you on that.
Well,
you're speechless, I know. It's never happened before. But you can see how those, I'm going to change the subject. You see how those vessels have disappeared. Chris knows I'm still stuck on that picture yesterday of that guy that put that, whatever that stuff is he put in his penis.
Now, your hands, yeah, that was pretty impressive. I don't think I'll try it. Now, I want to, in a minute, yes, there's a nice shot here of a nasal vessel. Now, let me tell you, when you are treating these vessels on the nasal sill here, your patients will sneeze. Tell them beforehand. They're going to sneeze right in the middle here. Look at this. Bang, it's gone. Look at that beautiful spot. I mean, I feel as though I'm on some sort of TV show here because I'm trying to sell something, but I'm not. I mean, this thing sells itself. I mean, these are not these are not you know, sharp knives I'm selling here. This is a very selective uptake. Okay, there's one on the cheek here. Let's go to this one on the cheek.
Anybody in this group use this laser yet?
Say again?
I'm asking the group if anybody's used it. Henry's used it.
Okay, now just look at this.
Yeah,
look at this.
Actually very nifty.
Look at this. This is a much deeper vessel. Okay, now this would be impossible to treat with the KTP. And we're getting, what do you think there? Are you getting good sealing?
Yeah, we're getting a good view, but you still haven't told me. I asked you about the relative advantages of this wavelength as compared to about 532 and 1064.
Yeah, well, the other
and then you got stuck on sex. And
the other aspects about 940 are that, you know, there's much less uptake by melanin as opposed to 532, which is very well taken up by melanin. Therefore, you get a bigger therapeutic window. You should have less problems with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. As I say, it's not as well absorbed as 532, but you can get deeper into the vessels and you get a lot more heating. So those are the main benefits. Any more that you can think of, David?
Well, what about the fact that when I treat alar telangiectasias with 532, I often have to treat them 3-ish times. So how many times do you think you have to treat these vessels when you use...
You know, if you treat them appropriately with this device, particularly the larger the vessel, the easier it is to get a nice result. I mean, one treatment should be enough. Now, having said that, it is nature for these. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. You see that? Right in the middle of that spot? Bang. You see it right in the middle here. You can see that that's a really nice result just there. You see this spot welding technique. You can see it really works very nicely. What was the question you asked?
How many
I'm absolutely
Oh,
clueless.
yeah. How many treatments? No, if you get this, usually one treatment will do. But as you know, that even a vessel in the heart, that, you know, once it's clotted, in fact, the body has a wonderful ability to repair itself. And cardiac vessels, fortunately, can recanalize, and the same can happen with these. So you never say never, but I think that one treatment generally is enough for the larger vessels. Paradoxically, the smaller vessels might be a little bit more difficult, but then you just turn it back to 532 at that stage because it's beneficial. Sometimes you might actually not want to have cooling.
How about the this machine comes with a scanner? Talk about the scanner a little bit, Chris.
The scanning device is a brilliant little addition that they have. You can use this device for non-ablative rejuvenation. It uses the 700 micron spot. It scans at twice the speed that it used to scan. And so you can now treat an entire face in about 15 minutes or so. And actually 532 is a very good wavelength for causing non-ablative rejuvenation and for treating the browns and the reds. And I think people have kind of ignored 532 because there were so many other new lasers out there, the pulse dye laser, the IPLs and so forth. But 532 is a great laser, and if you have one of these devices with the new scanning device, you can go with it's a high energy system, so you can actually get non-ablative rejuvenation with this device in a very nice manner.
All right, so the scan is used only with the 532, but not the 940.
Yeah, you don't scan 940. Okay. You can see, so now he's using 532. We're going at about, what, 3 or 4 hertz, and you can see it's beautiful. We're tracing out these vessels. Now, everyone in the audience can think of a dozen patients that come into their clinic every single day who might benefit from this particular device. 532 is the mainstay for these fine vessels because, because you treat them and the patients walk out with very little erythema. They go back to work. Yes, they'll have erythema, maybe for the rest of the day, but it's not like they get bruising that might last for a week.
And I think I'll sort of mention how we use this laser in the real world. We go back and forth between 532 and the 940. The 532 we tend to use for those small little red vessels on the cheek, and the 940 we're going to use with the higher flow vessels like around the side of the nose, and even for some of those little bluish venules you sometimes see on the cheek. Is that how you're doing it?
Exactly right. Exactly. Okay.